Yo, it's your boy Prox, and we're doing a giveaway on June 22nd, so make sure to enter by hitting like, sub, and commenting on this video. Alright, I heard you guys wanted an updated tier list from the guy Prox, so I'm here with it real quick. We are going to be dropping a couple people down a position. First off, this guy here, nobody uses him that I've seen, so we're just gonna put him in C tier. Johnson, he's dropping from A tier. He is definitely in B tier, the lower end of B tier too. Before I would say he was more of an A minus. Right now I would say he's just a flat B, but he's gonna be on the lower side because there's lots of B pluses that will be ahead of him. He's a great free to play option. He's a good lock, blah blah, whatever. We don't care about Johnson. Thompson though, on the other hand, has great defense, can hit threes. That's his main thing, is hitting threes, but I have him in A tier ahead of some other people you see later on, and that's because of his defense and his little dash forward thing he can do. Bam is a great option. I think he gets beaten out by the new player we'll talk about soon, just because of his lack of offense. That's the main thing that holds him back from being higher than A tier or like middle of A tier. It's just his offense. He's really great defending. Here's another guy that doesn't really have any offense, a great center, defensive center for sure. With the likes of steal block, he can block a lot of ultimates, so he has a really good counter to point guards and stuff like that. He's a little bit slow. That's why I don't think he's above Bam, just because Bam does have that speed on him, so I do find him a little bit better. Clarkson's a hot take, but personally I don't think his defense is good at all, because looking at Thompson, he has a great defense because of that dash, because of that extra movement. Clarkson doesn't have that. He's more one-dimensional. He's a great scorer, but he's going to lack on defense, so that's why he's in the B plus tier. He's going to be at the top end of B, so a B plus tier, not quite an A minus or even, an A. So Doncic hasn't moved at all. He's still in S tier. Everybody knows how great Doncic is and how abused and used he is, so we won't talk about him. Kuminga and Zion are both really good options, but they're just not the best power forwards, in my opinion, in the game. You have Giannis, you have Tatum out now. I find that they're just at the top end of B, so like a B plus. You could argue they're A minus, but I would definitely keep them at the B plus because we're gonna have a lot of people in that A minus range already. Giannis just overall has a better package with better offense and defense. I really like his ultimate. It could be arguably easy to block, but in my personal experience, even good players will still get caught up with it when he rams through you. So we're gonna put him at the top end of A tier, and that A plus. Paul is actually moving up from, I put him in C tier, which was a mishap, a misunderstanding on my half. I do find he does have very good defense, but he lacks on offense pretty severely. Like, he's not going to be hitting threes. He can hit mid-range pretty effectively and dunk and layup and stuff like that, but that's not a big thing with Paul here. So Chris Paul is going to be in that B tier, that high end of B tier for good defense, but lacks on offense, so he can't go higher. Paul George, I almost feel like can drop down to B plus tier, but I'm going to keep him in that A tier because I do find he's very good on defense and offense. He's a well-rounded package. Just another player I don't really see very often, so we're not going to talk about him, just put him in C tier. Murray here, I think Murray and Clarkson are pretty much on the same level. I do like Murray, though. I find his dashes are just a bit better than Clarkson, but I just have them paired beside each other. I find that's probably the best spot for him. Johnson's just in this tier because he's a really good budget player. Adams is going to be in B tier. I think he stays at B tier. He's a good center overall, nothing crazy. Julio is slightly better than Zion and Kuminga in my opinion, so he's going to be at the top end of B for power forwards. In my opinion, LeBron James just isn't quite as good as Tatum, but you could argue he is better because he has a 360 block and stuff, but they're pretty much on par, but I don't want to put too many people in S tier, so I think just having Tatum out now, he's slightly better, faster, so we have him in A tier for LeBron, A tier as well for Kevin Durant. He's just a way better version of Paul George once he's maxed. He's not going to be better if you don't have him maxed. Nurkic, real quick, we just throw him in B tier. He's on the same par as Adams. He's not bad, but KP is just going to take over this whole bracket for free-to-play centers. Looking at KP next, he is a beast. He's the boss. Very effective from the three-point line, from the perimeter. Also a beast in the paint, super fast. He's just overall an agile center that can hit threes, block, rebound so effectively. I can't not see him being an S tier. A plus or S minus tier I think is where he falls, but I only want to have I try not to have too much competition of the same positions being spammed in S tier, so I find he's just better than Bam, but he's not going to be better than Gasol, okay? He's basically the budget version of Gasol, and he's very good at, in that range, but he's just the budget version of Gasol. I know we're going to have 3 point guards in the actual S tier, you'll see in a second, but Jokic, I find, is on par. I would say KP is on par with Jokic as a center right now. You argue, regular season, he could have been the MVP all day. I think he deserved it. But, I mean, here in game, he's an A tier on par with KP. Gasol's just going to be the better option out of the two with putback dunk. Also has threes, just a bit bigger, better rebound block, better toolkit overall, just slightly. So he's still in that S tier. With having so many S tier point guards, it's kind of hard to rank like shooting guards higher than like a B plus A minus kind of tier. And that's because like Curry, Doncic, and SGA are just so dominant where those are going to be the better picks 99% of the time over Booker. So that's why he's there. Wiggins, I feel like he's just the budget LeBron. So since LeBron moved down a couple spots, I think personally Wiggins also moved down quite a few spots into that A minus or B plus. He settles in A minus for now though. Russell Westbrook, I personally think is not very good. He's the worst version of Chris Paul on defense, and his offensive toolkit is just trying to spam dunks. So I really don't think he's that good. I think you can get, better success with playing Zion over Westbrook. He does have a nice couple buffs to the team though. SGA is staying in S tier as the same as last video. Just great in the ISO. He's going to beat out people with the thunder contact. He's just super elite overall, any way you look about it. Jason Tatum though, he has to be an S tier, and especially like the top bracket of S tier. Power forwards has been lacking for quite a bit of time. So having a power forward that can do it all, shoot threes, he can switch the post and just be a god in the paint, do rebounding, be a basically slightly worse version of a center, but get those rebounds and beat out most people. He's just elite overall. Like any way you look about it, he's elite. A lot of these next guys are guys that aren't going to be very controversial in my opinion. We're just kind of pump them out, but yeah, as far as Tatum goes, I think he is definitely one of, if not the best player currently in the game. And if you get good on him, you can carry your teams in ranked, in anything. Dynasty, he's great. All of that. Fushi, I think, has a very high skill cap still. Can be very effective, but is niche because his scoring isn't that great. He's okay in the mid-range. He's not going to be hitting threes, so you need to be carried on offense, but you can definitely lock down people on defense. So that's why I have him here. He can also steal some possessions so your team can get ahead, and that's why I have him ranked at B+ tier. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Prox. Peace.